And welcome, folks. We are back with the Michigan football breakdown, focused on the defense with that man they call Vance Bedford. He was playing hurt last week, and he's playing hurt this week. He said, "Listen, I'm not going to sit out. I'm not going to sit out. Michigan lost the game. They're going to think that because Michigan lost the game, that I'm not going to show up. No, I'll play hurt again this week." So he's back to talk about this loss that Michigan took to the Sooners. Gonna talk us through it because a lot of Michigan fans were ready to get off the train. Ready to get off the train after that L. And it sounds like to me, Vance had to give out some. You had to get out some act right, Vance, to some of those Michigan fans.
Oh man, I call them trolls and everything else. I think they disguise the Michigan fans, but I think they Spartans and Buckeyes and everything else. I mean, as the wind blows, like the leaves in the trees, brother, they just blow away. So yeah, I got to some fans, and they talking about, well, quarterback should have done this. We didn't do this well, or same offense and different offensive coordinator. I say, get real. You played a fresh quarterback on national television, going into Norman, Oklahoma at 7 p.m. Give me a break. I would love to play against a freshman quarterback. I don't care if he got 35 stars. I don't give him all the blues in the world. I'm gonna be playing the blues in the stands for him because you know what, he's gonna struggle, and that's what he did. I mean, he was inconsistent, and I had a chance to listen to you yesterday and talking about well, we should run more zone replays and let the quarterback run it. Bryce is a drop back quarterback. He's a drop back quarterback that is a gifted athlete. You might sprinkle some of that in there, but the reason he committed to LSU in the first place because of the offense that they run. He wants to be in the pocket. He has a cannon on arm. He just has to get used to being a college football player playing in front of 90,000 crazy fans. And that's part of what he does. Yeah, put some zone reads in there, one or two, but that's not what he is. He is a pocket passer that is a gifted athlete. He's not a gifted athlete that can just throw the football. So it's a difference. And fans got
Yeah.
to get used to that.
Well, you hit the nail on the head of what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going making him Denard Robinson. Don't confuse what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
talking about I'm talking about sprinkling in. I'm talking about give me 3-4 runs a game.
Yeah,
Give me
I'm
yeah,
good with that, Sam. I'm good
yeah.
with that because when I look at Oklahoma, think about it. They ran their quarterback, I think, somewhere around 20 times. He won't last the season. Fans, you got to excuse me. I got COVID, so I'm still battling that. So I apologize to you right now. I'm at the tail end of COVID. So, but
Yeah,
that quarterback is not going to last the season doing what he's doing. So you get in a game, he's not supposed to do what he did, run the ball 20 times a game versus Michigan, but it worked because you're not prepared for that.
mhm. Yeah,
But if he's going to do that for the entire season, 6 games in a year, they're going to have a different quarterback. So that was a special circumstances for Oklahoma. It's a game that they needed to win. That was a desperation play, in my opinion. So they did everything they could to win that football game, and that means sacrifice the quarterback if they had to in order to get that.
yeah. It's to me. You're talking about what can you do to enhance comfort for this freshman quarterback, help this offensive line that needs help, to help keep these chains moving and give this running game and these running backs some some space, some breathing room, so they can be the ones that are the engine that's moving this offense consistently. You definitely don't want to make Bryson, not trying to make Bryson a runner, not trying to make him run it as many times as Mateer was running it, but just sprinkling it in. Just sprinkling it in a little bit. Just a little bit in there is
You know,
all we were talking about.
Sam, you look at that game. I know we're talking about defense, but what Oklahoma did defensively, they did all different type of things. That's the one thing that Brent Venables was good at. Disguising what they're doing, he's giving you different looks. The offensive line didn't know where the blitz was coming from. They brought the corner blitz in the second half probably 3 or 4 times. We never picked it up. And they made sure they could take all the edges away. So the quarterback had no place to go. And then the offensive line had to decide who to block. You have 7 guys walked up there for 5 guys on the tailback to block. You're in trouble. And so they gave us a variety of looks. And I didn't listen to what Al said, but we missed some blocks because of the look they gave us. But in order to take those things away, you have to be able to have the quick game has to be excellent outside. And you have to be able to run the football. So you got to make them pay a price for what they did. And in the second half, we weren't able to do that offensively. Then let's go back to the defense. I think it was in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma had an 8-minute drive, and two of them were kept going because of penalties. Otherwise, we would have been off the field. And then the quarterback was just. I coached at the University of Florida. We didn't run Tim Tebow that much, and Tim Tebow was built like a fullback. Tim Tebow will have about 5 or 6 runs a game, and he might scramble on 3rd and 4 and 5 3 or 4 times a game. So you're talking about a max of 8 times a game based on situations. Well, here we are playing Oklahoma. They running a quarterback counter 15 times, and the quarterback's coming for 5 times. That's 20 runs. Your quarterback won't last that year. So again, they put everything into this game by sacrificing their quarterback in order to win the game, and it worked out for them. And I'll tell you what, man, we missed number 1. I'm sorry. Last week I said that number 30 could fill in for number 1, Sam. We missed that dude, brother. I'm sorry. I mean, 30 got to put in his position to make some plays, and guess what, Sam? He was not athletic enough to make plays on those guys in space. That's what showed up to me. We missed that guy. The NCAA did that on purpose. The NCAA set my man down on purpose. They couldn't get him the right way, so they gave us a backhand call to sit the man down for a targeting call. You tell NCAA, come get me, NCAA. I'm in Loveland, Colorado. You can see my trees in the backyard. They're not even my trees. They're the HOA trees. Come get me because you got us. You did everything you could to get us a second way, and they did, Sam. They took our best defensive player off the football field for a half, and we did miss him.
Yeah, it made a difference. Now, here's the thing. If you look back at it, with all of the plays that Michigan left on the field, right? And the mistakes they made. Michigan had opportunities, man. They had opportunities. This defense. You think about the positions that they were put in, Vance. I mean, the times that they had the material in their grasp. I'm thinking about after the half. They get the touchdown coming out of the break. They get a 3 and out. Defense goes 3 and out, and then they get a bad punt, and they at midfield, and you almost get an interception. I mean, he get beat off the line, but he recovers, and he almost get an interception. If you could talk us through that sequence, his defense off the line, he recovers, he almost get a pick, and then Wink calls a blitz, and he got him dead to rights. But if you talk us through those 2 plays, I mean, these are 2 opportunities to get off the field.
On the missed interception, it would have been a great interception. Wink had a pressure coming. He was bringing the heat again. And my man Thrill Hill got beat off the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was like Casper the Friendly Ghost. He was swinging on the miss. But he has athleticism and the speed to get back in position, get his eyes around, to get his hands on the football. Now, if that was my man, Lil Mike, last year, Lil Mike makes that play. That's Lil Mike starts in the National Football League. Not every DB going to make that play. My man Hill's a really good football player. He's not Lil Mike. I'm going to be honest. Lil Mike's intercepts that football. We get that ball right there going the other way. Thrill Hill going to get a pass breakup. And we're going to take that because that's where he is right now, really good football player. And now, not just the missed sack, we had several missed sacks on the quarterback, and they kept going back to the quarterback, how he was squatting over 500 pounds. I look at what Jalen Hurts does in the National Football League, how he runs through people because he squats 600 pounds. This kid's the same way. We had him, 3 or 4 guys had this guy wrapped up. He comes out of there looking like a Jalen Hurts. And to me, that was the difference in the ball game. We could not tackle that guy in key situations. He was the difference in that ball game. When I look at the overall game, offensively and defensively, we were outplayed on both sides of the ball. But the key in that game was the quarterback and the little receiver from Detroit who toasted us for a few yards. But again, and I talked to you about this last week, are we a spot drop team or we're a match team? And I watched this play on one of the big pass plays. I think they were in a 3-by-1. And the number 3 guy went through the middle of the field, caught one for about 25, 30 yards. I watched number 30 and number 15 both drop their guy in coverage. When I looked at that, so we spot dropped. He was wide open. It's an easy throw and catch. I mean, so I don't know what Wink plan is as far as how we drop, how we match things up. But I look at all of those things. I look at the football game, the missed sacks on the quarterback. He was stronger than what our kids were used to playing against. We used to playing against quarterbacks, and when you wrap up that way, they go down. This guy was built more like a running back. And now in the passing game, we got to do a better job of matching up and seeing what guys are. If you're a spot drop guy, would take angles away. As I listened to Jerome talk about going angles to the football, same thing. Take the angles away, be where the ball is going, not where the receiver is right now. If you go the way he is right now, the ball's been thrown in a different spot. You get the wrong angle, that's going to be a completion every time.
Yeah, you said something that I think was, the story of the game. They had the best player on the football field. Media, they get caught up in talking points. Some are more relevant than others. I thought the part about how much he squats, I thought that was a relevant talking point. I didn't think that the part about Deion Burks and him wanting to pay Michigan back because he's from Detroit. Listen, he went to Purdue out of high school. That's right. Michigan didn't offer him out of high school. He went to Purdue. When he left Purdue to go to Oklahoma, Michigan recruited the hell out of him, and he didn't give Michigan the time of day. He said, "I don't want to come to Michigan. Y'all offense not good enough for me. I'm going to Oklahoma." So he was like, "Y'all not good enough." Yeah, that. So, but that wasn't a part of the story, right? So, it was, oh, y'all not good enough for me, not the other way around. So it's funny how that wasn't a part of it, but the opportunities that they had to make plays. I mean, that's a 14-point swing.
Yes, it is.
When Wink, first you don't get off the field with the interception. Okay, fine. You live to fight another day. Blitz gets your biggest hitter. Your biggest hitter. And you've been talking about Brandon Hillman. You get your biggest hitter with a beeline to the quarterback. Nobody lays a hand on him. And he's right on the quarterback. And you can't bring him down. He sprint and he said, "Man, it's 25 yards down the sideline." Yeah. They scored a touchdown 2 plays later. I mean, you off the field, and they go from that to a touchdown.
And we had several plays like that where we had the quarterback sacked. He came out there and made some plays that kept drives alive. And when you're in those situations, you have to get guys down. And again, we talked about this last week about the depth of our defense and those type of things. And we are going to get better. We're not going to face another quarterback, I think, in our conference that's going to be like this guy, as strong as he is, athletic like that. We're going to face some really good quarterbacks. That guy was different. That guy was like a running back in certain situations playing quarterback. Think about it. They run in quarterback counter. I mean, like he's a running back. And we're in position several times for a tackle for loss. He come out there 8-9 yards. So it wasn't just that one play the quarterback missed sack. It was even the run game. We missed him several times, or we bounced off of this guy, and he kept drives alive by being 2nd down and 2, 2nd down and 3, instead of being 2nd down 9 and 10, which now again changes the whole situation of play calling for an offensive guy.
Mm-hmm. So another situation, another key 3rd down that I want you to talk us through, Vance. This was late in the game, and they're trying to put the game away. I think it's 13-20 something left on the clock. That and this is they trying to put it away. Talking about Oklahoma, they're trying to put the game away at this point, and it's Wink calls a zero blitz. You know the play that I'm talking about at this point, right? And if you look at the all 22, because people are very critical of Wink for this call. Why did you call a zero blitz in this situation? This is a very bad call. This is way too aggressive. It's 21-13. It's 3rd and 7 from the Michigan 40-yard line. Okay. And you see on the all 22, the quarterback for Oklahoma, Mateer, he's talking to his running back. He's pointing to him. He's pointing over.
This is on this one the back. He checking the back one out.
Yeah.
I've done that. Most defensive coaches have called a zero blitz where the entire everybody's blitzing. They have the tailback.
Right.
Everybody has the tailback.
So if you look at the all 22, he's talking to his tailback and he's pointing over towards, it looks like he's pointing over towards the defensive end. And he's
Mm-hmm.
pointing over, he's giving him some direction. He's pointing over there, right? Ball is hiked to him. Running back runs towards the end, fakes at him like he's going to block him, runs to the flat, cancel Christmas Vance. He throws to him, first down. And everybody's like, oh, what is Wink doing? The man is wide open, zero blitz. He hit his hot route. What's going on? This is a terrible call by Wink. Now, can you talk us through what happened on that play?
On that, a lot of defensive coaches do that. They bring everybody. So in other words, everybody in the front, everybody, they have the back. I've done that in the past myself. I've had a couple of times where it came out on me. But two things happened. First, I'm talking about the quarterback. He knew the blitz was coming, but he had the poise. Think about this now. He has a poise to make an accurate throw. He knew how to drift away from everything to make an accurate throw. Now, everybody should be carrying that back. Most of the time, a back with flare, it's easier for the defensive ends to know right now I have the guy. But when you let him go through the line or off the edge like he did, 9 times out of 10, that guy's going to be open. In that particular situation, that's one of those 9 out of 10s when the guy was open and the quarterback made a great throw. But again, I used to listen to quarterback coaches talk. When you get a blitz coming, we know certain guys we can't block. Therefore, drift away from the side we can't block to buy you some time to get rid of the football. That kid did that to perfection. He drifted enough time away from the pressure where he knew he couldn't pick it up to drop that ball into that running back's hand perfectly and kept a drive alive. So you're talking about execution on their part. That quarterback executed that to perfection, which a lot of times that does not happen. So again, I got to give credit to them. And I don't fault a Wink for that call because that's not the first time a defensive coordinator across the country has made that call. I see that in the National Football League. I see the same thing sometimes happen in the National Football League the same way. That is a difficult situation, a difficult play for that front seven who are blitzing to do. And people still been running that for the last few years, that particular blitz, zero blitz, and everybody has a back. If the back went to the line of scrimmage in the A gap, that means whoever blitz the A gap, we have to take that. We tell them, take that back to the quarterback.
So who has the back in that situation?
They all do. If it come off the edge, it's the defensive end. If it goes to the line of scrimmage, it's the defensive tackles or the linebackers, whomever blitzing in that particular gap, that's who has the running back. In that situation, the defensive end has to take the running back.
Yeah, so it was more in that particular situation to answer the question for John Walls, who says, was Moore supposed to jam the running back or have the running back in that situation?
Think about where the running back came from, though, Sam. Came from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm the defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker on that side, I'm not thinking this guy's going to go out. Think about that. That was gutsy for that quarterback and that running back to execute that particular situation when they did and be successful at it. That's 1 out of 10, Sam.
Right. You know what I thought of though as I watched it? I thought of Mikey because if you're watching it, like Derek Moore saw him pointing at him. Like, so he's coming over to get you.
Yeah.
He's coming over to get you. Like he knows he's coming to him, and he was ready for him. Like he kind of braced, like, hey, he coming to get me, right? And so that invited him
to go rush.
To rush.
Yes.
Right. So he feints at him, and then he goes off to him. But this, you got Mikey right there, and Mikey like, hey, this is set up. This is set up, right? Like, but this is like this will never. I feel like this will never happen to Derek Moore again. Like Derek Moore, veteran that he is, you won't get him like this again. But you got Mikey out here. This is like one of those veteran things that he would be able to sniff this kind of thing out.
I'm put you like this though, Sam. With all the guys I've seen over the last 3 years defensively, Mikey or maybe Dax might have been the only guys that could have made that play. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
Even though this just happened to Moore, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again in that same situation. But I don't think they're going to have a quarterback or back and execute to perfection as they did in that particular play. Yeah. Just an opinion.
Yeah. And to be clear, it's not like I would have expected Derek to be able to run with the dude. The only thing I would have expected Derek to be able to do is knock the stuff out of him. Like
But,
I would have,
but
that's it.
Sam, when you tell a guy he's blitzing and the back coming from the other side, he's a defensive end. What's in his mind right now? Go get that quarterback. It's like it's a shark in the water. He smells blood, but it's a trap. But all he does is smell the blood. Well, that was a trap. All more smell with the blood. You're like, let's go finish this thing right now. Get him out of field goal range. It's a long field goal already. Let's get him out of field goal range. And now we get a chance to maybe tie this game and go for a 2-point play. So I understand Moore's thought process, and that was a difficult play for him.
Yeah.
But things happen sometimes in a ball game.
Yeah.
And it happened in a situation that benefited Oklahoma, not the University of Michigan.
Yeah. But you mean, look, I'm not even a coach, and I understand what Wink was thinking, though, because they on the 40-yard line. They can't kick a field goal. They kick a field goal, the game's over.
Yeah.
So I understand what he's thinking. Like people, why is he zero blitz right here? You can't let him kick a field goal. Like what are we talking about? It's like
no matter what happens, good or bad, somebody's always gonna have 1,000 questions, and you can't win that battle. Like on Twitter, I just got flat out after people. I got tired of hearing all the negativity. Man, I'm one of those kind of people, Sam. I'm all the way in all the time. I'm not one of those guys on the fence. As the wind blows, I'm gonna fade to the side. I'm in, 4 feet in, period. And all I was telling the fans is make a decision and get 4 feet in, get off the bus, go cheer for another football team. Quit crying and quit complaining and support the team that's there right now. I mean, it's for the University of Michigan right now to be playing with a freshman quarterback. I'm no 5-star guy. Man, we've missed on a lot of quarterbacks in the past 7 years. The past 7 years. Okay, so you put that coaching staff in a predicament. It's just that simple. I'm not going to let that go. They're going to talk about it. Let's talk about the real picture and how we got to where we are.
Yes, sir. So you look at the missed opportunities, and I'll say this. Let's talk about them and how in zone, Vance. Look, they need to tighten up in zone, but I understand why we're seeing sort of so much. I mean, they are really thin at the corner position, and even thinner now with Zeke going down. So they gotta kind of hold the line for a second till they get some guys back, because
Let's
they
talk
were.
about Zeke. You remember? I forgot what quarter it was. A big pass play. We were disguising. Zeke was the 8 yards. The safety was down like he was going to play curl fat or he's going to blitz, and they were going to roll the cover 2. My man Zeke never touched that wide receiver. That safety had no chance at all. When that guy went outside, Zeke should have rolled back, zone turn inside, and carried that guy till he felt the safety. He didn't. That safety had no opportunity whatsoever. That was strictly on him. And the other time when Zeke got beat, it was a hook and go. It was a stop and go. And that was a foot race that he lost. I mean, the only way you're going to stop that route is that when he broke, he had to break through the outside shoulder of that receiver to get him back inside to the post safety. I mean, so those are 2 situations that led to 2 big plays, both on Zeke.
Yeah. So listen, given all of that, and you remember this is like Zeke's 6th game at corner. He has to keep getting better. Keep improving technique at the position. Zone and man principles at the position. Same thing with Jair. They need to get healthier at the position. We still haven't seen Shamari Earls, the young freshman. Biggest guy, fastest guy, most athletic guy at the position. True freshman, but came in early. They need him. Caleb Anderson, the transfer from Louisiana. Still haven't seen him. He's been injured. So you're down. You get down Zeke in this game. You were already down Caleb Anderson and Shamari Earls. You wind up going to another true freshman in Jaden Sanders in this game. So you're super thin. And that's why you're seeing them. They're protecting their corners.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing all of this soft. Hey, we're playing really, really soft on the back end. I get it, right? Still, you got to see some more discipline, play, some some more what word am I looking for? You got to see them play some better some more disciplined play on the
But
back end.
Sam, I mean, I know we're talking about how young our corners are. I understand that. And it's tough to win with a young quarterback and young corners. I get that. I've been in those situations. Young corners gonna make young mistakes. I get that. We're getting hurt more in the passing game between the hash marks. A couple of big pass plays went right down the middle of the football field, whether it be a safety, whether it be a linebacker, whatever it may be. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, we've been hurt by dig routes on a linebacker playing zone coverage. I mean, so again, we need to clean all of those things up for us to get better too. He's going to run some two, he's going to run some quarter, half. He's going to do some things to protect the corners. But over the last 3 years, from Rick from Menor to McDonald, they've been more zone guys anyhow. They really have. They've done more zone than man. They're more as far as we're going to run different type of zone pressures to do things and hopefully trap you into throwing into the strength of the defense. Well, Wink, as we said this last year, Wink is a more single high man to man. We're gonna come after you. A whole different philosophy. That's when people say, "Well, he's an OG." Well, they learned some basic things from him, but they were zone guys. Wink has been a man guy. He's gonna be a man guy. Now they got to play more zone because of the youthfulness of our corners, but that's okay. So we got to continue to build, no matter who's out there. But the strength of our defense is our front seven. Okay, let's do more zone pressures, play different kind of two and quarter, half, protect those guys. You bring in 4 guys, make it look like it's 5 guys, bring in 5 guys still playing too deep. And therefore, you protect those guys, give them guys a chance to have success. So there's a lot of things we can do to help those guys out. I mean, I was actually playing with 2 sophomore corners and a sophomore safety, and they looked that way. They looked that way when they were people going up tempo and spread. This is the best we got. We shouldn't be in this situation in the first place.
Yeah,
but we were.
So we saw a lot of the same kind of mistakes early last season. If you recall, you were talking about a lot of the same types of, guys running wide open, left and right, guys, getting out of position. When it came to their drops, it's like, man, what is this guy doing? Where is he at? His zone awareness is all off. We were seeing all of these kinds of errors early in the season last year, and they were able to clean it up. They can't take that long this year. So hopefully, because it's a lot of the same players. Now, they don't have the same players up front. You don't have Mason and KG and them up front now. But many of the other guys are back. Now, if they can improve, because you still got some good guys around here. If they can improve quicker, I mean, they still got good enough guys to compete at a high level. At the end of the day, what did they give up in the second half of this game? What, 3 points? I don't know. They didn't give up a whole lot of points in the second half of this game.
No, they did. They did.
So at the end of the day, they still have good enough players to compete with and play at a high level in this game, in this sport, in college football. But they got to improve at a faster rate, at a faster clip than they did last year.
You want me? The biggest difference for me in the defense is that last year, if you're an offensive coordinator, an offensive line coach, and a quarterback coach, I was concerned about them 2 big fellas inside. We had to block those guys, give my quarterback the opportunity, the time to make a play. So when you had to worry about them 2 big horses inside, that means now your defensive end, Sam, they're gonna be one-on-one all the time. It made their lives that much easier to beat an offensive tackle. Now we can block you straight up because you don't have the same type of guys inside. So now I can find ways to turn to a defensive end, to chip that defensive end, because I don't think your guys inside could beat me one-on-one. Therefore, the thought process of that offensive line coach, the offensive line, the quarterback coach and the quarterback, and the offensive coordinator, they thought process about how much time their quarterback has makes a lot of difference. Now, this year, because of our inexperience at cornerback, we need to find ways to protect it. And if that's the case, we need to do a better job of executing how you play those specific techniques, a cloud technique, or if I'm inside, am I a hook curl dropper or hook, whatever it may be. We need to do a better job long-term wise of executing those fundamentals, because the next two ball games, the games on paper, we should win. Okay, we should win the next two ball games on paper. We should be better than the teams we play. Now, what people are going to do, they're going to attack us. If I'm playing University of Michigan right now, I'm going to get 6-man protection, maybe 7. I'm going to work over your linebackers. If I can see you one-on-one, brother, I'm coming after your corner. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work between the hashes to see you got your zone drops clear. I'm going to run. You could call it high-low. In other words, the number 2 receiver, he's going 5 or 6 yards deep, running a pivot in, pivot out. I want to dig right behind it. We've heard about that 2 weeks in a row. Linebacker keep dropping and jumping a low route in the dig behind him for 15 yards. Or I'm going to run what we call dagger. I'm going to clear out number 2, run a dig, have the back flare. And again, I'm working a linebacker. If he don't hold the dig, we got a problem. Because I think I could block our defensive line right now with 6 or 7 guys and ball 15 yards deep. If it's not that, throw the check down. Those are things I don't do to attack our defense right now. My thing is to keep the things going, to keep the chain. I want to be 2nd down and 5, 2nd down and 4. So as an offensive play call, I can get a feel for what Wick is doing. If I say Wick going to try to go after me with zero blitz, well, guess what? Check. Let's go master tech. We're going deep right now. I want to see, can your corners hold me up on a fade route? I might get a PI and keep the stakes going. So it's things I'm doing as a play caller going against our defense right now because of what I have seen in the first 2 ball games.
All right, folks, if you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now. If you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now, and I will knock them down after we get his grades for the defense. Again, if you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now, and I will knock them down after the grades. So, Vance, give us your grades for the Michigan defense in the Oklahoma game.
Man, but that's tough. Overall, I'm going to give the whole defense a C. Because of the quarterback and the running game of the quarterback, how he bought time with his legs in the passing game, I'm going to get a D-line a C minus. Okay. If I'm going to break up for the linebackers about a half. In the first half, our linebackers was a C. In the second half, they were a B minus when I got my man number 1 back. We were a totally different football team with him back. For the secondary, I'm going to give those guys a C plus. A lot of things that we got beat on, either quarterback scrambles or things right down the middle of the field where it didn't affect the corners, where the safety had to make some plays. And that's how I look at it. So overall, a C. But our D-line and the situation that we're in right now, what happened to us when the quarterback ran the football or dropped back through the football, we couldn't get him down. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. We just said this guy's every bit as good as Tim Tebow. And I was at Michigan. We beat Tim Tebow in a bowl game. And remember back in the day, we tackled Tim Tebow all day long. He never heard us scrambling. He didn't run the quarterback counter. We lit him up like a Christmas tree. It wasn't even Christmas time.
I remember. Yeah, you guys were blitzing him from a side when you that was part of the
thing. He was the left-handed quarterback, so we made sure that he could not scramble to his left. And also our goal was never allow him to step up. His biggest thing on 3rd down and medium, he wants a lane to open up. He's going to step up and take off. So we had to control rush from inside out and push him to his right. He was very ineffective because of what we did to him. And then we knew in certain situations, formation, he's running the football. We were going to spill the football so he could not run the ball downhill. A couple of times I think we had a bear call, 0-2-3s, defensive end rush. And we were in man free. They ran a quarterback. The defensive end did not spill the football. That's number 1. I don't know if he's supposed to spill it or not. The front side linebacker, he didn't spill the football either. So the guard got around blocked the backer. The quarterback came out there for about a 10-yard gain. So again, we got to clean up when we're in man pressures. What exactly, if you get a quarterback counter in the future, what should every individual do? Yeah. I think it wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
And again, the quarterback, he was Achilles.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, I was confused who was supposed to do what. I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you because they didn't know what they were doing. It showed.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. All right, folks. If you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now, and we will knock them down. I will start with Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones says, Vance, do you think a test like this early in the season, could be a springboard for this team going forward? Because I don't know what to expect now. What do you think?
I have very high expectations. We go on the road with a freshman quarterback playing at 7 p.m. at nighttime. You have a bunch of Sooners, they drunk as three skunks out there. And we had a chance, think about this thing, going to the fourth quarter, we had a chance to tie that ball game. And guess what? We were not playing very well, not on offense, not on defense. Going into the fourth quarter, the University of Michigan had a chance to still win that ball game. So my expectations right now are very high. Our quarterback, he's going to get a lot better. Everything about what we're doing is going to improve. You got a brand new offensive line. The continuity is not what it needs to be right now. They're going to get better. Our running backs are solid, physical running backs. Everything is going to improve. So I think I look at the arrow, Sam, it's going way up. I believe right now people are nervous what Michigan brings to the table. They're like, Bryce is a very talented guy. Once he calms down and figures out what he is supposed to do, that offense is going to start clicking. And the defense is going to get better. I already know that.
All right. Let's go back to the questions. Munir wants to know, Vance, how important do you think getting Rod Moore back is, not just from a talent standpoint, but leadership and getting folks aligned and setting them right in the secondary? And the talk is that he'll be back for this game against Central Michigan.
That'd be good. His leadership means a lot. He understands the defense. He's a very sharp young man. I'm going to still go back to the rust that he's going to have, which is going to show up. But the leadership and the calmness he's going to put on the back seven, that's going to be very important. So long-term wise, over the next two ball games, I don't know how much they plan on playing him, but if he's anywhere close to what he was, he's going to make a huge difference in that secondary. And I think the fans can really be excited about what he has the ability to bring to the table.
All right. Next question. Jack Cooper says, is the Oklahoma offensive line just light years better than Alabama's from last year's bowl game? Because our defensive front was pretty much the exact same. No, brother.
Jack,
no,
Jack,
brother.
Jack. No, bro. No. You're talking about the last game of the year to the second game of the year. I guess you can't go there.
Yeah, well, I guess the
two big guys didn't play the game. I get that.
Yeah.
But again, we're just starting to get going in this season.
Yeah.
And people keep getting away from the quarterback counter. The guy ran the quarterback counter about 12 to 15 times a game. It's like you have an extra blocker for that young man. And that was the difference in the ball game was that. And then the ability to tackle that guy was a lot more difficult. So no. That's not even go there. Let's not compare last year to this year. It's not even close, Sam. I don't ever do that.
Yeah, it was, definitely you could see that certainly the edges were not as dialed in as they were in that game. Like, you're looking for those guys to step their level of play back up to the level that they were playing in that game. That's for sure. They are not where they were, not yet anyway. So
a different year, different time from the second game of the year to the 12th game of the year. It's a difference. And so now I don't even look at that and compare those type of things whatsoever. Say.
Yeah, and I don't think that, and it's not the offensive lines, because that Alabama offensive line had some.
They had some dogs.
Yeah,
they had some dogs. Let's be for real. They had some NFL players.
All right. Xavier McCall, will there be film study be posted? All right. So I explained this, I guess, on the other show. So listen, we will not be doing the film study this year because they are extremely expensive to produce. And that is the reason why. To give you an understanding of how much they are to produce, the fundraiser that we ran to do I think the Ohio State, the fund fund the film study for the Buckeyes, I think it was. Basically, for how much the networks want for the footage, we would have to raise 10 times that. 10 times to get that footage. And not even be able to keep the footage beyond the season. Right? That's just to use the footage just for 3 months. That's how much they want for it. It's just exceptionally expensive.
You know what, Sam? They mad I talked about their sportscaster. That's why they charge you. They went up so high. Fans, I apologize to you. I ripped how bad those guys were when they would do our games. So they're getting back at us. I understand what it's all about, Sam.
Right. So we cannot monetize that footage. And Autograph is not around anymore for us to use them as a host for the for those film studies. So that being the case, for us to not be able to put the film studies on Autograph anymore, they are just too expensive to produce, unfortunately. That being the case. So, maybe we can run a fundraiser to do them as a one-off, maybe for Ohio State. We might be able to do that, but just the expense of doing them does not justify doing them on a weekly basis. They are just too expensive to do, unfortunately. I hope you understand that. Well, I got to be able to pay Vance and now, these brothers, right? All right. Hope you understand. On to the next one. To Johnny Youngblood. Will some of the secondary issues get cleaned up when Rob Moore returns? Can he make that much of a difference in you thinking cleaning up some of the secondary problems,
The
Vance?
concern we have at the present time are the corners. He didn't play corner. I mean, you're going to have the communication out there for the overall defense, but it's only so much you can do. So right now, Wink hands they're tied a little bit because you can have young corners. You have to find ways to protect them. One thing you look from a defensive coordinator perspective, Sam, you say, well, if I zero blitz this guy, he didn't have time to throw a good pass to affect my corner. And I think that's part of Wink's philosophy, which I like that myself because sometimes when I had average corners, like, how can I protect them to make us a better defense? If I make this quarterback nervous, he throw a bad pass, we're off the football field. So I get what Wink is doing sometimes. And so I'm all for that. But it's not a whole lot, more can do to help those guys out because they are young. They just have to learn on their own. They want to get beat on their own and make plays on their own. You got to run some cover two, quarter has to protect those guys a little bit. Simulated pressure like they've done in the past, protect those guys from too deep behind it, and we'll be okay. I mean, we got a long road ahead of us. We starting to panic after 2 ball games. Sam, I've seen good things so far. I've seen a lot of good things so far. So looking forward to a successful season this year.
Okay. On to the next question for Vance. Let's get this one from Smash Number. Ferris Khan, how you doing? Did we over pursue the quarterback? Looked like we had a shot, but ran right past him. Do you think over pursuit was an issue?
I listened to Sharon made that comment. We took some bad angles to the ball, but Sam, we missed a lot of tackles. Now let's be for real. My man ran through us, man. I thought that was Bo out there running the football. Man, I thought I was looking at Auburn all over again. I'm like, Bo does all. I mean, he was running through us left and right. So we missed a lot of tackles. You go back to the missed quarterback sacks, there are about 3 or 4 of those. We had 2 or 3 guys running on the quarterback counter. He just ran through arm tackles throughout the ball game. He was the guy that you had to hit him like he was a running back and put your face right down the middle. So we over pursued some, but the main reason we just flat missed tackles.
Mm-hmm. All right. David Pruden wants to know. This gets to your question about number 1, Jaishawn Barham. Do you think Barham should get some snaps at defensive end, Vance?
No. You can do that, but they do different things with him to let him blitz. Sometimes he'll walk outside like a defensive end, come off the edge. He walks up inside over a guard, comes off the edge. They move him all over the place to utilize his skill set, which I think is pretty sharp by Wink. So you don't know where the guy's coming from. When you don't know where he's coming from, he's more effective that way. So you have to play him a defensive end. I like our 2 guys outside. Our 3 guys we're playing right now. We okay at defensive end, trust me. Keep him where he is, he's going to be a lot more productive overall for us inside.
All right. Someone asking about the film study, Cliff and Green. What if, about the film study? What if we just don't tell the network and keep it on the DL? That's impossible. Once you upload the video to YouTube, YouTube scans the video and it knows when you upload the footage. It scans the footage for copyrighted footage, and it knows when you upload network footage. So it is impossible to keep footage on the DL. So
See, my man cousin right now know how to bootleg things. You know how to bootleg things, so he's trying to get us the insight on how to bootleg this.
That is impossible, brother. Impossible. All right. On to the next one. Yeah, this is you already went over this, but he said, how important will it be to have Barham for all 4 quarters moving forward? You said this is gonna be huge to the defense.
He's by far right now our best defensive player. It's not even close. When he's not on the football field, we miss it. He brings a certain intensity to the entire defense when he's out there. We need him on the field all the time.
All right. Do you think Shamari Earls will come in and make an immediate impact? So this is the freshman corner number 2. He is so this is not in dispute. He is their biggest, fastest, most athletic corner, but he is a true freshman. So what they know is he can go in there and press. Now, so they can go in and have him play some man-to-man. He will give them some of that versatility. Now, how much will he help? He'll give them some more depth. How effective will he be? Well, we haven't seen him yet. He hadn't played a single college snap, man. So it's hard to say what a freshman is going to do.
All I can say is this: if he is the guy you're talking about right now, I'm listening to his talent level. And I know Charles Woodson, you can't put him in there, but William Peterson started for us as a freshman. In '97, he rotated when Woodson was playing nickelback. Peterson was at corner. I mean, University of Michigan. Of Florida. Janoris Jenkins started for us as a freshman. So freshmen can play. The biggest thing is how well does he understand the defense? If you play him at the boundary corner, you can limit certain things that he has to learn, and you put him in a position for success. And so you can play with a freshman corner now. The one position is 2 positions freshmen can get away with: cornerback, based on what you're doing defensively, and wide receiver. When you start talking about the interior core, O-line, D-line, you can get in trouble real fast. Linebackers, you can get in trouble real fast. But for a receiver and a cornerback, based on what you're doing defensively, they can go out there and play as true freshmen.
Vance, you said something. I can't remember if it's last year or the year before. You said you could see on film, you didn't see a lot of talking on defense. You remember you saying that?
Yeah, the communication was not there. Yeah.
You said you didn't see the communication there. I don't know how much you have paid attention to that through 2 games, but we were talking a little bit about Rod, and somebody brought that up and said, Vance, do you expect when Rod returns some leadership and better communication? This person doesn't seem to just be talking about the secondary. Is that overall, do you expect better communication will happen on defense? Seem like we don't have that vocal leader on defense right now. Do you think that will be better with Rod back on the field?
See, we talked about that. That was actually 4 years ago when we started doing this. And then when Lil Mike became the starter, he communicated right off. You saw that leadership quality right off with Lil Mike. And he made everybody talk. Linebackers included, because communication needs to go to them also based on what you're doing as far as coverages, where you are playing true zone or zone pressure, whatever it may be. And right now, it's hard to see that because how the video is going off a television screen, but I don't see the communication that we once had. And it could be there, maybe not. I go back to the play in the game the other night. They were disguising cover 2 with a corner sitting at 8 yards deep. The safety was up and rolled back. He was rolling back to the half. Zeke was rolling up and then get a good reroute. That's technique and communication both. Zeke got to realize that he got a long way to go. The most important thing is not run support. The most important thing is that this guy don't go vertical. So I think if you had a veteran safety talk to him, maybe that would not have happened. I don't know that, but I think the communication can help us out quite a bit. I really do.
All right. Here we go with the next question. You guys are asking them some really, really good questions. That's what I like about our crowd. I said this when we were on with Al earlier. Um, Grant Info wants to know, Vance, what defensive drills can you run in practice to help the front seven get a quarterback like Mateer who squats 400 plus pounds down to the ground? Sound like he asking about tackling drills.
Well, they work on tackling every day. Sometimes if you're going to play a quarterback like that, for example, when you're doing inside run or some team run period, you might want to put a running back at the quarterback position. But I got to be honest, I don't believe that the defensive staff thought that quarterback was going to run the ball that much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of a sudden it was working and they stayed with it. I was saying in the game, this kid's not going to last. He's taking too many big hits. By the fourth ball game, they were another quarterback. They were on the show for the year. So again, I think that the plan that OU had, I don't think that was their plan going to the ball game to run a kid that much. But if you know you have a kid that way, well, in certain periods, you put a running back there. For example, I'm gonna go back when I was at Michigan. We played Florida, and Depot was back there. We put a running back at the quarterback position because we had to tackle him when he dropped back to throw the football. Also, when he's running quarterback power. So, but we knew he was going to do that. Winknam didn't know this kid was going to do what he did. I had no idea that was going to happen, to be honest.
All right. This kind of picks up on that question, kind of asking, do you see this as a one-game issue, the problems that they had bringing this particular quarterback down? Or, Vance, do you see any bad trends over the last 2 years in fundamentals on defense, like tackling?
No, I don't. Again, we have a lot of young guys out there going through, and this quarterback guys, he played above his head. I got to give credit to this young man. I was shocked to see what he did. So we look at one ball game and already people getting a little anxious about the future. I don't see that. I just look at a guy played exceptional well in his ball game, which made the difference in his ball game, and we still had a chance to win. We could have gotten off the field in the fourth quarter. That's how close the game still was, as poorly as we tackled at times. So no, I'm concerned about that. One thing I know about Wink and that defensive staff and Coach Moore, they're going to work on fundamentals, and tackling is a fundamental thing you do every single day in practice.
David Pruden wants to know your thoughts on number 7, TJ Metcalf. He had a big interception early in the game. What are your thoughts on him so far?
I didn't recognize him that much, but again, we got a lot of guys out there rotating and playing. So after this week, you ask that same question next week, I have a better answer for you.
Okay. Grand Info says, as a Commanders fan, Mikey Sainristil is special. The interception against the Lions in the playoffs was great. Is Mikey a great cornerback because he was a converted wide receiver, or are his fundamentals just that solid?
Combination of both. You got a guy who played wide receiver. It means he has good hands. He comes over to the other side, and his fundamentals was exceptional. But the thing about it, people don't understand his awareness of the game or his instincts, however you want to call it. He understands football is a game of angles. He knows how to get to his spot before the next guy does. Man, I look at YouTube. They talk about Kobe and Michael Jordan, how they played, how they practiced, how they took angles away to understand the game. They're talking about Dennis Rodman. He used to watch how the ball came off the rim. He used to just sit back and watch guys shoot, just watch over and over again. He understood, and the ball hit here, I know where to go. Well, little Mikey was that way, and that's a rare quality. So he had all the intangibles that really, when you say, I don't put this on paper, they don't go into any category. Because if they did, he'd have been a first-round pick. But they don't fit in the categories. It's about height, weight, and speed, and bench press. Those are categories they measure guys on for the pro ball. But instincts, they don't measure those things. Mike had it all. Special player.
French Toast says in 2023, wrap it up was absolutely on point. Appreciate the super chat. It says, it seems like now they're throwing their weight in the players and not wrapping them up. Is that normal? Again, I think this seems like a one game thing, but what did you think?
Well, again, going back to tackling, I mean, as coaches, you talk about wrapping all the time. And I saw some body shots when he's talking about guys trying to come in and blow people up. Well, everybody in today's game work on stripping. They call it the peanut punch. And part of the peanut punch is that you go for the strip first and the tackle, sack, and punch, and then wrap up. And right now, I don't see us doing a lot of going to strip the football. What he's saying is pretty accurate. I see a lot of guys going for kill shots. And when you go for those type of shots, you will miss some tackles. Guys, a good running back will bounce off of you. So we need to get back to the basic fundamentals of stripping and punching the football and wrapping. Valid point on what he just said.
Okay. So you mentioned boundary corner. So this is a really good football question, a general football question. Russian Flow wants to know, what is the difference scheme-wise between boundary corner and field corner? And to add to that question, Vance, body type and skill set-wise, what type of player kind of fits the boundary corner versus kind of fits the field corner?
He's going to be a little bit more physical because you're going to do different things for us. Like Oklahoma blitz their boundary corner about 3 or 4 times. He's going to be a good blitzer. He's going to be more physical. He has to be able to get off the stock block because you're going to get runs into the boundary. So he's going to be a different type of athlete most of the time. Your field corner is going to be more athletic, going to be more of a cover guy. A lot of times he's not involved in as much tackling. Imagine this. The ball's on the hash. How many times does the run game get outside the 4 hash? If you have 20 plays, that might happen 2 times in a game. You're in the boundary corner now. The field corner is getting 2 out of 20. The boundary corner is getting 8 runs. You got to be able to defend against or get off a block. I mean, so it's a different type of body type. They both have to be athletic. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he has to be a little bit more physical and want to do a lot more tackling. Will Johnson, when you put him when he played in the boundary, think of the plays that he made. From his blitzing to his covering ability to everything else, because you're going to get a lot of hitches and a lot of different things to attack that boundary corner. You need a playmaker in that position.
Man, they tried to run Chris Olave on a little swing pass.
He lit him up like a Christmas tree. I saw that.
Man. Will has some stuff on his mind, man. He saw that. He's
still mad about being drafted in the 2nd round. He should have been a 1st round pick. He's out to prove everybody wrong. So you got to attack that with a chip on his shoulder.
And you talk about, hey, man, that's another dude who really just knows and thinks the game. Like Mike, I mean, just they made a mistake. They made a mistake on that brother. Made a mistake. Drafting him in the 2nd round. All right, let's go back to the questions for Vance. They did bring Barham off the edge a couple times, and
yes, they
said they would do that. And John Wall said, I really like they had Barham at DE and had Guy and Moore on the other side a few times. And so I anticipate them. They said that they would be doing that. And so I think you'll see that all season, man.
You'll see that. But think about this. I got Barham one-on-one on a center or offensive guard going right down the field and the quarterback's visual sight. Think about that. You got a guy athletic as Barham, quick and strong as he is. Going against the offensive guard sometimes based on what you're doing, I like that a lot. That's to scare a lot of people. So he's gonna play outside sometimes, but when you got him inside blitzing that way against an offensive guard, man, come on, look out now.
Yes, sir. Hey, here's one for you, Vance. AK said, Vance, you gonna unwrap that grill behind you when you
grill back there? Hey, man, I just got back to town, so I'll be throwing something out there a little bit. Throw some pork shoulder out there, some beef ribs, you name it. Man, it's gonna be lit like a Christmas tree pretty soon.
No bison, Vance. What about the bison?
I got. It's a store here on a farm you got to go to. But if I get some of those, tastes just like beef. It's just leaner. I mean, it's really good.
All right. Jay Marion wants to know, What are your thoughts on the linebacker number 23, Cole Sullivan? Seems like he makes a play every time he's in there.
He did some good things coming in as a backup athletically. And as I look at it, I know he plays a different position, number 30, but he might have should have been in there more playing than number 30 in that ball game. He appears to be more athletic and made more plays in space. Because going to that ball game, I thought my man number 30 was said, we're going to be okay for a half. But we weren't. He was in position to make some plays and just did not make it. And again, he got was out athletic by the doggone quarterback and the receivers, and I was a little bit disappointed in this play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Pruden says Sullivan is better than Rowe. He thinks number 23 is better than number 30. And he said, I thought the same thing as you, Van. So he wants to see more number 23.
But they don't play the same position, I don't think. Like one is a Mike, one is a Will. So you just can't go in there in a game and interchange them because they learn a specific position in their playbook, and it's tough to make that switch during a game.
All right, so we're wrapping up. If you got any you want to squeeze them in now, it's a lightning round, as we call them. So rush and flow. This is a really good one, Vance, because he's asking you about adjustments. He says, we've been getting killed on throws over the middle. So what adjustments would you make to your linebackers' zone drops to prevent this from happening?
The routes you work on in practice and your individual drill, then when you go to 7-on-7. If I am Central Michigan, who we playing this week, I'm going to run a lot of pivot dig. In other words, number 2 is we're doing a 5-yard pivot in and pivot out with a dig behind them. So if I'm in practice, I'm working that route over and over again because 2 weeks in a row, Sam, 2 weeks in a row now, the linebacker done dropped the 5-yard route, jumped the 5-yard route, and the dig behind him. Or I'm running a clear dig, the dagger route. Now, again, I'm working the linebacker, hey, play top and bottom. If we want to stop this 5-yard check down, we're going to go play man-to-man. So, again, they need to work those particular routes over and over again because they're going to continue to see those routes until they stop them. Then now I'm going to go 3-by-1 and run 4 vertical. Number 3 coming back inside the linebackers. Again, the linebackers got to get in position to carry those guys. And I do not know what Wink is asking the guys to do in zone. Are they going to carry the guy? Or are they dropping them to the deeper guys? I have no idea right now what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's really good. I can tell you, Sam.
I will tell you what, Vance, I think this is an important game from the standpoint. I want you to wrap up with this, kind of telling me your coaching points heading into the Central Michigan game. Because you look at them on the schedule and it's like, Central Michigan is no big deal. Looking ahead to Nebraska. But man, I think it's really important they have a clean football game because there's been a lot of sloppiness over the first couple of games. And Nebraska it's gonna be a beast. They got a chip on their shoulder because they feel they're taking it real personal that Sharon chose, you sitting out our game. You chose our game. Why you choose to coach in the Oklahoma game, but you're gonna sit out our game. So it's all this noise about that. It's gonna be a sellout and all of this. So again, there's a recipe for looking at this Central Michigan game like it's nothing. And I think it's a big deal that they play some clean football in this game, Van. So give me your talking point, your defensive talking points for your group in practice this week as they prepare for Central Michigan.
We're going to go back to tackling. We got to tackle well. In this ball game, if we have more than 10 missed tackles, we're going to be in trouble in this ball game. Even though it's Central Michigan, so we got to clean that up. The next thing is in our run fits. They run in power counter. In every defensive scheme we have, what is your response? Like we got caught in Bear defense. They run the doggone counter into Bear. Defensive end, he blocks the front side linebacker. You know what to do. And the backside linebacker, then what the front side linebacker do. So all those, run fits and your Bear package, your blitz package, who is doing what? If we got a zero blitz, okay, who has what? If we got 7 guys coming, who has it back? Everybody. So the fundamentals of what we're doing defensively has to be cleaned up. So now we just got a coverage. For example, when we got beat on the fade on the sideline with my man Zeke did a bad job rerouting the guy. Your number one job when you disguise something, we got a cloud corner. This guy don't go vertical. He goes wide outside, zone turn and carry that guy. We can't stop the check down. We can't stop the flag, but we can stop the pigeonhole throw. So I'm working on all those things based on the game I call. I'm not worried about Nebraska. We have, if we'd have done what we were supposed to do against Oklahoma, right now we're sitting at 2-0 instead of 1-1. So defensively, we clean some things up. We should be able to shut these guys out. Tackling, the execution, the flying around, the communication, all those things right now need to show in this particular ball game. And when we come back on Sunday and watch this video, let's not talk about, well, you should have spilled this football and you should be over the top. Or we're the cloud corner. The guy went outside and you stopped at 6 yards deep and they overthrew a pigeonhole throw. They're going to hit that. Nebraska's going to hit that throw. I mean, so those are all the things, details of the game to get it done, to understand why these things to happen. My man said, I want to see a blowout and a shutout. Make the fans cheer Go Blue. Well, I don't care what it is. I'm going to cheer Go Blue regardless. Like I told him, Sam, I'm all in, baby. The Sharks should be circling. Man, baby, I'm like the Navy SEAL. As he comes at me, Sam, you know what I'm going to do? Bam, punch him in the nose. Not today, baby. Yeah, you can't eat here today. I'm ready to rock and roll. No, but it's the details, Sam. The details must be cleaned up. Our linebackers inside and coverage must be cleaned up because if I'm Central Michigan, I'm throwing the ball across the middle of the field all day long. You bang up in the secondary, I'm working the sidelines on your corners to see can they hold up, whether you single high or they cloud. Can you execute that or not? Certain things in the pass game, I'm going to attack you right now because of what you showed in the first 2 weeks. Just that simple. And if I got an athletic quarterback, I don't see is he good enough to run quarterback counter because you didn't support that at all the whole ball game this past week. So I'm going to take 1 or 2 things from the OU game if I have the players to do it to implement to my offensive scheme this week and see can you do corrections or not.
Yeah, Grand Info don't want you to get out of here without giving your score prediction for the Central Michigan game. What do you think, Vance?
We at home, capacity crowd, 41-3.
Ooh. So you expect them to come out?
Oh, hey, we pissed off.
Dragons.
Hey, we on defense and how we played last week. Sam, we pissed off, Sam. We're gonna practice angry all week long. When we hit that practice, we hit that game come Saturday, whoever showed up, they're gonna get a beat down. We think I'm Mike Tyson when Mike was 21 years old, he's bobbing and weaving, he coming in tight. Hey, first punch, knockout shot. We're gonna let you know right now, you're not gonna even be in the skillet. Sam, you jumping into the fire right now. Forget the skillet. Ain't no skillet, Sam. You're in the fire right now. You're in the big house. It's burning down right now, Sam.
Bypass the skillet, Vance.
Hey, no skillet. No, hey, Sam, I got a fish. I'm throwing it right into the fire right now. Burn, baby, burn. I want it crisp. I want it right now. I'm ready to go.
Dollar said, "Hey, did you watch JJ's NFL day? You know I did.
I did too.
I love him. Love the kid. Hate the team he's on, and hate the fact that I hate the team he's on, and hate the fact that dude is going to take him to the promised land at some point. Like they're going to win the Super Bowl with JJ McCarthy. Maybe not this year. I mean, maybe this year, but at some point, JJ McCarthy's going to win a Super Bowl.
JJ learned a lot of things, Sam. He threw that out to the field and then went back for 6 with the other team. He realized in the NFL, don't ever be late on that throw now. Most quarterbacks don't even make an attempt to make that throw because they know if you're half a step late, it goes the other way. So JJ is understanding the NFL is totally different from college football. And what he did in the 4th quarter, that's who JJ is. That's what they're going to find out.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Buckeye. Look at that. Real champs. We celebrating too. We got a piece of that championship. Look at that. Yeah, the I can't beat Michigan world champs. How about that? I love it.
A world champion lost 2 games.
That's
world
right.
champion lost 2 games.
That's right. Hey, send me a car. Send me some championship gear. We want ours too. I see. I'm saving the spot. I want to hang it right there, so we can look at it. We can look at that score. I need some championship gear. Some Buckeye championship gear right there.
Tell that man to send us some peanut butter cups.
Help me out.
Send us some peanut butter cups. Let's go. I want some peanut butter cups. Let's go.
You know, we want to celebrate the championship too. Because every time you hang that schedule for the run to the championship, Michigan is on there too. So we want our piece. I want to celebrate. I want to shoot off the fireworks. You know, we even had a run to the championship. Come on, Buckeyes. Hell yeah. I want some. I celebrated last season. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. Is that how it goes? I don't know how it goes. Come
Hey,
on.
hey,
What's up?
hey, Grambling Marching Band played the Butter Ducks better than the Ohio State band. Grambling Marching Band, they tore the whole house down. They had Ohio State band walking by, just shaking their head, couldn't believe Grambling was playing that way. They saw some real
I love
band
my
players.
guys. Hey, they won't send me. None of them will send me my championship cup. I don't know why.
They should send you a ring.
That's all I said. Just send me a championship cup. You know, they don't want to send it. They won't even buy their own championship cups. Makes no sense to me. Anyway, we appreciate you guys for another week here on the football breakdown. It is always fun. As Van said, get on out, support the Maize and Blue, support the Wolverines at the game. If you can't make it to the game, support them on TV. And come back next week and support us here on the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. We'll see you next time.
Go Blue.